Today we're going to have a chat about what happens on farms at this side of the year and also in the milk processing sites across the country. It's equally important on site or on farms to actually take the time to do a planned service and repairs programme to allow you get ready for next season and reflect on what's worked or not worked on milk quality for the last season. Today we're on site here in Ballyragget. It's shut down now for the season, and over the next few weeks all the milk will either go down to Bellevue or up to Virginia or to the CFI sites across the country. The shutdown periods are essential for the site personnel. This gives a huge opportunity to do repairs and maintenance and really get ready for next year's season. We're going to meet Liam Foley, who's the site quality manager. He's going to take us through what happens in Ballyragget during the shutdown period when a massive repairs and maintenance programme takes place between now and when it opens up again in January.
We took in our last tanker of milk yesterday, December 7th, and we now head into our off-season. So we head now into what our site maintenance team call our Overhaul programme, and that will run from now, December 8th, through to end of January. A site the size of Ballyragget, we have 27,000 engineering assets that we need to maintain, so that needs a lot of maintenance and overhaul activity now for the next 2 months. For the last several months, our maintenance team have been planning this overhaul activity. We bring some extra maintenance staff, craftspeople on site, so there's a significant ramping up of the resourcing, and that needs a lot of detailed planning. During the season, our site maintenance team do minor preventative maintenance. We plan most of that, about 80%. 20% would be for call-outs or downtime. So we plan in activity. An example would be, we have pumps we can rotate in and out, and we'll plan a downtime during the season and move in those new pumps. Our CIPs, the clean in place on our bulk tanks, are similar to on farm. We do a pre-rinse, a hot caustic, a hot water wash, and then followed by acid cleans. We do an extensive CIP at the start of next January. For the overhaul period now, December through to January, we fully open up and inspect equipment including separators. We have 50 separators, centrifuges and decanters on site. These are big pieces of equipment, about the size or bigger than the average motor car. The maintenance team tell me they run 10 times faster than a motor car, so they require a lot of maintenance resource to completely break down, inspect, replace parts, seals and gaskets. We open up most of our valves. We have a risk assessment on the high risk, lower risk valves. For instance, in the cheese plant here beside us, we have 1,300 valves. So we risk assess to replace 500 of those each year or more to ensure that they will run reliably through the next season. We open up the unions where the pipes are joined and inspect the O-ring gaskets. Any damage there, any niches for microbial growth that the CIP will not take away is a microbiological risk. So we open those and replace those O-ring gaskets. You can imagine with all the powder plants, we have a lot of filters to get through to replace them also on the liquid side. Water is a key part of running the plant for us, so we completely overhaul the water treatment processes to make sure it will be reliable next year. Equally, the maintenance team goes through all of the electrical equipment to ensure it will be robust through the whole year. Also, our compressors and refrigeration for our cheese and butter processes, refrigeration is key, so we review all of that. So after all of that maintenance activity, we do the normal SIP, but also do acid cleans to ensure that the equipment and stainless steel is perfectly clean at the beginning of next season. But it's basically around good ordering and stock management that we run down the stocks at the end of next year, so we're starting up the new year with fresh detergent makeup. We also look from the experience of the preceding year to look at any opportunities to improve safety through the year, slips, trips and falls, any risks like that, confined spaces. So we risk assess at this time to ensure we'll be safe next year.
It's key on farm to consider how you're going to manage your detergents over the winter period. If you're ceasing production for overwinter, you need to run down your stock and make sure that you start off with fresh detergent for your springtime. This will avoid any residues building up. If you're milking through, just make sure that you've got fresh stock constantly coming on farm so that you've got no issues from residues to show up during the winter period or during the early spring. Rubberware is another key piece that we emphasise at this side of the year. Your milking machine technician coming in to service your machine will look to change your liners. They should be changed every 2,000 milkings or every 6 months. The other pieces to remember to change are all the larger pipework, all the larger rubber or silicone pipewear. Silicone needs to be changed maybe every 5 years or so, but rubberware needs to be changed every 2 years. This is essential, otherwise you'll have lots of cracks and crevices that will actually harbour bacteria such as thermodurics or TBCs and will cause problems through the year. So using this side of the year to actually change out all your rubberware will make next season much easier. Next up, we're going to meet Tom McAvoy. Tom's farm is just around the corner from the factory here in Ballyraggett, and he's going to talk us through what happens on his farm just before he ceases milking for the winter.
We're back into milk production there about 3 years ago. We started building this parlour in 2018, so we have 3 years milking at the moment. When we have them dried off, we'd wash the plant maybe twice when we're finished. We give it a second wash before we shut down. Then we have the service operator, have him rang to tell him that to call first thing after Christmas and to go through the whole plant. We change our milk liners twice a year, generally July, August, and maybe February, late February, March. We ask the milkman to go through everything on the machine to give it a good overhaul, check all rubbers and make sure there's no cracks or leaks anywhere. We also have an auto washer to wash the machine, which we use acid on the plant 3 times a week. We're in a high hard water area, so we need extra acid. We have 2 detergents. We have a detergent and an acid. Every five detergents, then there's an acid cuts in on the following wash. We have only 2 tubes. We have an acid and we have a detergent. We were looking at putting in a 3rd tube for paracetic acid, but at present we have to put that in manually. So we change them, the 2 tubes, this every winter whenever the service guy comes to replace them. We try to wash the parlour with a power washer maybe once a month, and generally at the end of the year, when everything is shut down, we give it a good thorough power washing, have everything spotless.
Hopefully you found today's video interesting. If you've got any specific queries about milk quality on your farm, please contact your local milk quality manager for follow-up and assistance. They'd be delighted to help. In addition, have a look at the Glanbia Connect website. We always have topical articles related to milk quality available there throughout the season, and they may be helpful for you on farm.